Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Dragon's Dogma, where last time we got to Gran Soren, and it's kind of exciting. Right in the middle of the square, we are ready for a good time. I'm going to preface this very quickly, but okay, hold on. We'll go over and talk to this guy.
You seem the type, unlike to judge a man by his mien alone. I would ask you a favor, sir, if it please you. A wise choice. I warrant you'll be eager to hear what I have to say. I have long searched for a certain tome, Salomet's grimoire. 'Tis said its pages hold the power to grant the reader command of grand arcane magics. The book itself is ensorcelled, you see. Even a novice is as a grand wizard with that grimoire in hand. I would ask you to seek it out and bring it to me, sir. Recompense? Pray, let us speak of such things once you have found the book.
Well, that's not suspicious at all. So I think it's worth saying really quick, the hard drive on my computer died that I record audio with, so I am going to be doing post-commentary for this episode and the next one. What I'm talking about in this one, oh boy, it's a mess.
Isn't the men of the Corps speak of? You've a plainer air than I'd expected. Forgive me. I spoke poorly. I simply imagined the sort of figure pulled right from legend. Pray, allow me to begin anew. I am Asalam, and this is my inn, though we deal in a number of trades here. I hope this is the first of many visits, sir. I am at your service. Oh, you wish to learn of the Pawn Legion? Then the shortest path to the answers you seek leads west from here. There you'll find Gran Soren's Pawn Guild. It is a gathering place for their kind. Just tell the sentries you have business with the guild. They'll let you past. Have your pick, any you like.
So this is a guy we're going to be seeing fairly often, but he's very important for after you get to this part in the story, because now we can actually change our vocation. And you saw that there were 3 before. Well, if you've been paying attention to the gear we've been looking at, we have a lot more than just that. A whole lot more. So let's talk about some of these. We're starting out as a strider. We can be a mage or a fighter, but also we have a few more that we can pick from. Let's start with the ranger. The ranger is high stamina, high attack. Not so great on the defense, certainly not so great on the magical abilities, but at the same time, pretty tough. Where the strider is using a short bow for higher damage at closer range, the ranger uses a longbow for very high damage at far range. The strider is certainly useful in its own way, but it's more like a ranged class, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. If we're playing as a ranged class though, certainly a lot cooler. The fighter is primarily a defensive class. It's the only one that can use a basic shield, I think. I could be wrong about that. But it is more about getting a high defense and then secondary going on attack. The warrior, however, is all about the attack power. If you are just going for raw attack, play as the warrior, try it out. It uses only one heavy weapon, no secondary weapon, and its skills are kind of ridiculous. In fact, it has a skill that can kill almost any boss with one hit, which sounds powerful. I'm not super familiar with it. I've never played as a warrior myself. It's kind of cool to see whenever it happens that somebody can get that attack off, but it's just not quite my playstyle. Warrior, however, is all about gaining attack power. You get plenty of stat growth for your attack when you level up. So if the strider is a short range class, the ranger is a long range class. It uses a longbow instead of a short bow, still has the daggers, but it is basically what the warrior is to the fighter. The ranger goes all in for the attack power. It still has some good stamina increases, but overall, it's mostly about the range. If you just enjoy playing the long range classes and trying to keep the enemies from getting close to you, taking them down with strong hits before they can close that distance, try out the ranger. Put a little bit of time into it, get some good skills. There's some fun stuff I think that are available in the ranger's toolkit. If the mage is a support class, the sorcerer is not a support class. The mage is all about the defense, trying to buff allies, keep them healthy. The sorcerer, on the other hand, is all about magic power and hitting enemies with magic power. You hit hard whenever you use sorcerer skills. They are beastly in magical attack. Not so great on the defense, not so great in the stamina gain, not so great on the hit points gain every level up, but still reasonably powerful. I would say that if you want to try a flashy class, the sorcerer is probably the way to go. Sorcerers they get some very strong and flashy attacks when it comes to magical power. They don't start off with a lot, but if you get to some of their higher level powers, you are going to be casting spells that are almost encompassing the entire battlefield. Sorcerers are ridiculously strong. But they're also very squishy, like most wizards tend to be. Certainly powerful, but at the same time, they're all in for the offense. They don't have a lot of options for keeping the rest of the party healthy, making sure they're good for themselves. If you come across an enemy that has low physical defense and high magic defense, sorcerer might be hurting a bit. Now we're going to get into some special vocations that pawns are unable to access. The first of these is the Mystic Knight. The Mystic Knight is fairly balanced overall. Just imagine, you can see the primary weapons. It has a sword and mace, or it can use the staff. The Mystic Knight is the only class that can use the mace, and it hits hard with the mace. How should I put this? It's kind of like a mix between the warrior and the sorcerer. It's not exceptionally strong in either physical or magical attack, but those are its focuses. In the later levels, it will be fairly balanced overall and its stat gains leveling up. But overall, the Mystic Knight it's the tough one, and it has some skills that are fun to use. I've tried it a few times, and it's not quite for me, so I don't think I'm very qualified to be able to sell you on it because I'm just unfamiliar, I'm sorry. But from what I've seen of the Mystic Knight at least, it's kind of fun. Also, its magic shield, it's basically a tower shield. Really big, really tough, kind of fun to get one of those. Oh boy, the Assassin is all about the attack powers once again, but absolutely no magical attack powers. It still gets some good stamina, but it's mostly focused about attack. It actually gets the highest attack stat of any level up in the game, with 6 if you are between level 10 and 100. That's a lot of attack power. Considering the warrior that uses those giant weapons gets 5 per level up, Assassin's pretty tough. Really well rounded out, very skilled, but overall, not too bad. I don't think I've ever tried it myself. It wasn't quite the appeal for me. I actually know nothing about this class as much as I would like to. I am sorry for that. But it seems like it's very versatile in its just all-out offense, and it gets some good stamina gains every level up too. But whether you need to switch between sword and shield or daggers and bow, the Assassin is basically just a well-rounded class for that physical offense. I wouldn't say don't try it out, absolutely try it out. It's not quite for me, and I don't know why, I wish I did. But try giving it a shot, it might be what you're looking for. A mix of melee and ranged. Good martial class. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is a class I'm going to be kind of a lot biased about. The Magic Archer is a class that focuses primarily on magic defense, if you can believe it. It's kind of middling overall in leveling up, and its magic attack, while it starts out kind of getting some good increases per level up, eventually it just kind of peters out. It focuses more on magical defense. And this is my favorite class to use. Whenever I was just cycling through trying some new stuff out, I gave the Magic Archer a shot and just kind of stopped trying out new classes. That's probably why I never got around to the Assassin. The Magic Archer has an ability which I would say is either beneficial for or hurts new players. If you use a magic bow, it has a lock-on ability where you can choose precisely what parts of different bosses to hit. But at the same time, if you're doing that, if there's pieces you're trying to shoot off on the boss, like maybe say an ogre's tusk, you can't focus on that spot because the bow is trying to lock onto, say, the Cyclops' eye. Overall though, I really like this one. I absolutely do. Whether you're facing an enemy with high physical defense or high magic defense, it has an option for that. I've honestly never used the staff with the magic archer. I don't know what usefulness there is, if I'm being perfectly honest. But get up close, hit it really hard and fast with your daggers, and if you get some distance on it, just start pelting it with magic damage. And the spells that you can learn actually have different elemental effects as well, so it feels very rounded. It's very available in what you have available to you. I don't know if I would recommend it for new players at this point, but consider it. Just consider it for the future. In the meantime though, I'm going to level up to, well, I say level up, I'm going to switch vocations over to the Ranger class. I want to start getting some higher attack power because the Strider's just not going to cut it quite as much. The Ranger, I like the long range attack power with the longbow, so I'm going to switch to this for a little bit. In doing so, now we have to get our new equipment set up for him though. We can still use the daggers, but we can't use our short bow anymore. We need to get hold of a longbow. Most of our standard equipment we can keep using though, no big deal there. Just gonna get rid of the new stuff and put this other stuff on, and we're good to go. I think that most of our equipment should be fine. Pretty sure. Just gonna check down here. Oh yeah, there's the... Can't remember if I already covered this, but there are some special rings that you can get. This one in particular will enhance our biting wind skill to cutting skill. I think the Ingle to High Ingle is the magic fire blast that Rook has been using so much that I've enjoyed. Yeah, we're pretty set overall. It didn't change out our equipment all that much. We just need to get a new bow. So now let's have a look around for a new bow, I think.
Come again soon.
Oh, we will. We will. We absolutely will. To start off, let's come over here and hello, Madeline. Good to see you again, as always. I'm just going to look through her available stuff, see if I can find anything that appeals to me. And I'm also going to check the blacksmith to see if we can get what we're looking for. Also, Magian Crutch. Super expensive. There's your magic archer bow. Can you afford that yet? I don't know. I can, so probably you can too, but still. Gonna compare her equipment to the blacksmith over here. Caxton. I can never remember his name. And we'll see if we can upgrade to something a little bit more our style now. Oh, they've only got one option for us. Well, they're about the same prices as what Madeline has, so it's fine. It's fine. At least we have something we can buy and use. Alright, so now that we're more kitted out, let's get mixed up in a crowd of our pawns here. And actually, can I upgrade my equipment? Should probably check on that. No, we can only get one. I guess we'll do it just because it's a fairly decent amount and it's not super expensive. Not quite sure where to get those higher tier pieces though. Just, we got plenty of rabbit pelts and it's only 100. Gee, we can certainly afford that. Like just the little cap sitting on top of my head, it doesn't even fit. It's like meant for a child. Yeah, that feels nice. Okay. So I think... Nope. I was wrong. We're going to come back in here and talk to people. Ah, yeah, we're going to check out some new skills we can possibly learn. Okay, so... Heptad shot. Loose says 7 arrows along a broad sweep. It's just a flat cone, so it's not a whole lot, but it could come in useful someday. Rico has quite a few things that we can probably upgrade, though. She's got the discipline. I think we might be checking out the augments because those are more expensive and they're more of a passive boost overall. Yeah, sinew might be super important because a lot of the time whenever you're exploring far off places, you're probably going to want to give a bunch of your very heavy materials to your pawn so you don't get over encumbered all the time. It feels kind of like we're using them a lot in that manner, but at the same time, this is a fantasy RPG game. Everybody needs a pack mule. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's... Oh boy. Should I... Okay, maybe not. What do we do from here? I think we're going to explore the city at some point. I'm not sure why we're talking to here. Does she... Oh, right, the Grimoire stuff.
We're in honest business. Those magic tomes are oft forgeries, else stolen property. Oi, there's a notion. Why not ask a thief?
I don't know many of them.
More like to have it than honest folk like me, I'll warrant you. Take all the time you like. Take all the time. Do come again.
Yeah, she didn't have anything worth buying at the moment. Just stuff that we can get elsewhere. And by elsewhere, I mean out in the wilds. I believe that there is also a job board. Yeah, there's a job board over here that we haven't seen yet. This one has a little bit of longer quests to worry about. So we'll probably take some of these and work on them over time. They do have hefty rewards for the majority of these, it looks like. I think that some of those other ones are... The ones that are items are like special equipment. But we're going to be looking for 20 Seekers tokens. We've seen some of those before. Yeah, we need 20 of those. I think that might be all we're using them for, but yeah, whatever. Also 50 War Bugles. I don't know if I've ever actually completed this quest in any of my personal playthroughs. Soul Taker sounds like a fun weapon. It's probably going to be a warrior's weapon. But that's all we're going to take from there for now. Alright, now we're going to head out into the city and start exploring around, except through this door because this door is closed and we cannot get in. So there's actually quite a few stuff down to see in here, and it's kind of easy to get lost. This first door, however, we can change our hairstyle if we're finally ready to look a little bit different. I am currently not willing. If I come up with something later on, we'll switch to that, but at the moment, not so much. There is, however, a gather spot back here where it's just tufts of hair, and you can just come back there and find tons of them. I don't actually know if there's a limit. I feel like I've collected from there 10 times before I finally got bored and walked away, if it didn't run out. But you do need them for some quests, and I just wanted to get one. I don't need a whole bunch. It's a tuft of hair, come on. But if you explore the city plenty enough, you can find quite a few chests, a few different hidden away spots, and this place over here is the Black Cat, dealing in rare goods that cannot be found in normal shops. If you misplace something, you can probably come here and find it, if it's like a unique item. And this guy is...
Of course I've heard the news, but what good is it to fret over a fate that may or may not come? Any rarities to sell? I'll pay you handsomely.
Yeah, he does sell some pretty expensive stuff. The coin purse of charity, I mean, it seems weird. I've never used it. I've never considered it. Maker's Finger and Fairy Stones. Very quickly, Fairy Stones. If you're playing the Dark Arisen version of Dragon's Dogma, these probably cost somewhere between 10 to 20,000. Thank goodness they made them cheaper, because this is your only means of fast travel, and you're going to be needing to afford these if you don't want to run back and forth across the map by yourself all the time. There is a way to unlock some more places that you can teleport to, but they're very limited, so we'll talk about those whenever we get around to it. It won't be very long before we get to our first one, though. Maker's Finger, however, it's very expensive for a reason. That particular item is a very powerful arrow that is an instant kill for almost every boss in the game. I say almost, there are some that are resistant to it, but basically if you just don't want to take the time to fight an enemy and you just want to kill it, get the ingredients because you want to upgrade some items or whatever, or it's just a tiring quest or an enemy that you don't like fighting, get a Maker Finger, equip it, shoot the boss, you're done. It's that easy. But it's also very, very expensive, and you can probably spend that gold on some other stuff. Powerful item as it is, though. We also got Wake Stone Shards, which are our means of reviving ourselves later on.
Any rarities to sell? Right then.
Thank you, Fornival. Alright, so now this shop, the Black Cat.
You've good eyes. Clear. Truth be told, I'm envious. Most folk I see are too glass-eyed to tell an authentic piece from a crude copy. There's no challenge. Selling my, wares to you, though. I'm sure you'll find all you need.
We'll take a look at what he's got in store first. It doesn't look like he's got too interesting things. This is don't worry about that. Here's a few junk items that we don't need to worry about. The skeleton's key is kind of useful, I guess. Wakestone shards. Looks like he's got some pretty expensive items. Okay, his weapons are pretty good. His weapons are pretty good. Might be unique weapons too, I'm not entirely positive. I'd like to buy some of these since we just got switched over to a new class, but they're too expensive for my tastes and wallet. They sure look cool though. Look at that! Hydra Husk Bow has a bunch of Hydra heads on the top of it. That's really cool. Bezel crown looks kind of like a clockwork bow. Like clockwork? Steampunk? Whichever it is. Plenty of other stuff in here that we can probably get to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to cycle through them and get rid of the new markings. That kind of looks cool though. Yeah, these actually look pretty cool. They're clothing items, so they're not super defensive, but still pretty good.
I'm sure you'll find all you
Okay,
need.
but let's talk about the main draw here. The main draw for the Black Cat is the forgeries, which are intense and overpowered, and this shop could be so broken that I could see this as a modded shop that somebody wanted to put in the game just to make it easier, and if they just didn't want to grind out materials or whatever.
Fool the maker's own eye.
As he just said, he can craft a forgery of any item in the game. Essentially, if it's not an equipment piece and you want more of it, he can make it for you in 24 hours. You do have to spend quite a bit of money for it, but with very few particular exceptions, a forgery is exactly the same as the normal piece. And he can make, seriously, he can make forgeries of anything. If you just can't find somebody who's selling an item that you want, and you have one of them, take it to the Black Cat, and he can make you more of it. If there's something that you can't figure out where you got it from as a particular item, like even you can see here that I'm looking at a bunch of a bunch of boss materials. If you don't want to go out hunting bosses for a bunch of materials that you know you need, maybe you need 15 pieces to upgrade your weapon or armor to a particular level, but you don't want to go out and fight that many boss monsters. Start taking him these pieces, and he will make you a perfect forgery that is just like the original. It doesn't take up a separate space in your inventory, it just stacks on top of the other ones. This shop is extremely powerful, and if you have the money for it, very, very useful. We've taken down a few Cyclops. We could give him a misshapen eye. It'll cost us 21,000. But we don't have to try hunting a bunch of Cyclops to maybe get a rare material drop from them. We already have one, and if you have one, you can make infinite forgeries. Just don't spend your last piece, I would say.
I'm sure anytime.
If there's something that you're getting a whole bunch of and you finally have enough, save one. Just take it to the Black Cat, make an extra forgery, and if you need more of them later on, you won't have to worry about it. But this is a path that I have certainly explored often. In trying to get a bunch of materials to upgrade a bunch of equipment. It got to a point in my personal play file where I just tried upgrading all the equipment that I had in storage because I never sold any of it. If I had duplicates, maybe, sure. But it was just fun to find materials and upgrade equipment, and the Black Cat just kind of made it a lot easier. Doesn't look like there's anything back here. I thought there'd be a chest, but thank you, Rook.
What's that?
Nice of you to join us.
Hello. Yes, Arisen.
I think that I was trying to see if I could hire a new pawn to replace Rook, but she wasn't quite what I was looking for. Because Rook is certainly falling behind us at this point in terms of skills and levels. Again, he's just got the basic stuff that he has when we first equipped him. So he's not getting stronger over time. In the meantime, we'll just wander into more of these back alleys, see if we can find anything interesting. Maybe get up onto the roofs. Oh yes, that's right. We can get up onto the roof of Gran Soren and jump across the rooftops to find even more supplies. There are chests that are scattered throughout the city, either hidden in plain-ish sight or tucked away in a far corner somewhere. Exploring the city is well worth your time. There are plenty of chests, and as we have demonstrated quite often, chests can have different items in them. So come back and check different chests if you are looking for something in particular that you probably didn't find the first time. Take a ladder to get onto our first roof, and from there it is roof hopping. If we can figure out where we're going to go. I'm going to go this way. Here's a good spot for it. You can see on the map that there's just this little square out in the middle of nowhere. Went all the way down here. We have a good chest. Good looking chest. Ah, Seeker's Token. Well, we need 20 of them for that quest that we just took, so, it's fine. We need as many of those as we can possibly get our hands on. Alright, otherwise, this way. I think I remember that there is, well, yeah, it looks like there's an attic over here that we can certainly get into. Why would they put the chest on top of the trapdoor that's required to get in the attic? Don't think I really need the shoulder cape. I think I already have 2 of those in our inventory spread out across us. But it's fine. I think I see another spot on the map over there that we're going to head to. Or maybe I want this first. Yeah, not even in the little holes. They're just tucked away in the little shadows. Tee-hee. I can't make that jump. Can probably make this one, though. Just be careful whenever you're jumping from roof to roof, because some of them are not walkable. You will just fall right off them. You won't, like, start to lose your balance and slide all the way down. You'll just plummet. Which, in a Looney Tunes way, is kind of entertaining on its own, but you want your health. Health is important to live. Ooh, a 3rd journal entry. We found the first one, didn't find the second one. I'm not quite sure where the journal entries are at overall. I'm only aware of the first one in general, I think. So now we have to backtrack at some point to find the second journal entry. Or maybe it's somewhere here in town. I don't freaking know. Ooh, maybe somebody was selling it. Maybe that would be an option too. Anyway, at this point, we've made our way over to the slums area. You probably saw it briefly. Apparently, I don't want to turn the camera and show you. Can make it over there, though. Did I see a chest? I think I saw a chest. There's a chest. Ha 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 ha. Marvelosity, another Seeker's Token. Yeah, right down there is the slums area, just kind of next to the sewer system. A lot of the downtrodden folks are down there. They're just not in good shape, and here's somebody here in the shadow.
Patrick. He wasn't always mad, you know. He was once a scholar of renown. Spent his days poring over tomes about what lies beyond the rift. One day, he up and vanished. We all took him for perished, but after a time, there he was, wandering the city, spouting his sing-songy rattle.
Well, that's questionable. I don't really know who that person is, but I might have to look into it. Okay, we should be nearly done for today. Did some city exploring, checked out some extra stuff, got some little tidbits of equipment here and there. Overall, didn't make a whole lot of tangible progress, but at the same time, we changed our vocation. We got some new equipment that we're going to be using for that vocation. I'm going to look around up on the walls while we wrap up the episode, but next time, we're going to be doing less of the slower stuff. We are going to be heading out into the wilderness, going to be fighting a number of monsters, hunting monsters, trying to see what we can find that we can get experience from in order to level up. Because even though we started off as a Strider class, we only leveled up the Strider class. We need to level up the new class that we have, our new vocation. Ooh, yay, chest. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, next episode we're going to be trying to get a level up, well, a few level ups, hopefully. Buy a bunch of more skills so that we're actually competent. We're not feeling like we're level 1 again. And yeah, we'll just see what kind of trouble we can get into. Probably not any boss encounters. I could if I wanted to. Probably not any boss encounters. But yeah, in the meantime, I think we're probably done here. So I will see you guys next time on another episode. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves. A bit of a slower one today. Sorry about that, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. One more chest for the road. Ooh, blast arrow.